Hello, once again, this is Ryan Kerr, and it's time for another episode of interviews with top celebrities, stars, and entertainers, and comedians. And today's guest on our program is Neil Hamburger. You may remember him from some of his top television performances and famous nightclub routines. Known the world over, Neil has got a new record out, and it's called Looking for Laughs, and we're here to talk to the man himself, Neil Hamburger. Neil, how was it recording your new record?
Well, first of all, Ryan, thanks for having us on the show here today.
Oh, pleasure.
It's always great to get exposure to a larger audience. The record was fantastic. It was a lot of fun to work with a live audience. It was a big crowd, and they had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. So that's always the most important thing, is the fun. And, of course, the money comes a little bit later. But, yeah, frankly, it's great fun. I urge everyone to go out and get a copy of that one.
Okay, Neil, it does sound like fun, and a little bit later on our program, we will be giving ordering information to anyone out there who's interested in obtaining a copy of Looking for Laughs, the new record from Neil Hamburger. Neil, when you're traveling around doing the comedian's bit, you probably have a lot of opportunity to do top television programs. Can you tell us a little bit about working with some of these top television stars?
Sure, Ryan, I'd be happy to. They are the warmest, nicest people you could ever hope to meet. Some of the people that you see on television who seem larger than life are larger than life. They're warm, they're gracious, they're witty, and they're always willing to offer a helping hand. Yes, I can truly say working with top stars has been one of the most rewarding aspects of my career as a top television star myself. From TV talk shows to small parts in television sitcoms, the road to the top for Neil Hamburger has been an interesting one. You know, it's often said that some celebrities have so many fans they have to beat them off. Well, with some of the gorgeous, attractive, female, voluptuous women who come backstage after one of my top television appearances, sometimes I find that they beat me off, if you get my drift, Ryan.
Oh, Neil.
Anyway.
Yes, that's quite a dirty one there. Neil, what inspires you? What makes Neil Hamburger tick? I know sometimes the mind of a genius can be a tough mind to pin down, but our audience is primarily interested in the lives of top celebrities and how they tick. Please inform us of what makes you tick, Neil.
I'd be glad to, Ryan. You know, it may come as a surprise to people, but it's not my herpes and it's not my scabies, and it's not some of the other personal tragedies that have caused this to be one of the worst years in the life of Neil Hamburger. No, it's not. It's, quite frankly, Ryan, since this is a talk show and I'm trying to be honest here, it's the faces of the crowd. It's those people who came and in good faith put their money down on Neil Hamburger. I can't let him down, and I won't let him down.
Okay, Neil, you got us all choked up there, but let's try and get on with the show. Neil, what's it like being a celebrity?
Well, Ryan, you get a lot of people coming up to you on the street and wanting your autograph or wanting to shake your hand.
Oh, that must get quite time-consuming. How do you deal with your bevy of fans, Neil?
Well, on the advice of my manager and good friend, we've set up the Neil Hamburger Fan Club. And if someone comes up to me, I generally say, hey, I don't have the time to talk right now. Why don't you catch the show tomorrow night? And then I give them a flyer for the fan club. And for $5 per year, you receive a membership card signed by myself with your name on it. And you receive a newsletter, which is a lot of fun. There's a lot of good jokes there. And, you know, it's a real thrill for the fans. A little bit of personal insight into the life of Neil Hamburger. And you receive these newsletters, maybe 2, 3, possibly 4 times a year. We're looking into getting some little trinkets and doodads that we can sell to the fans at a fair to reasonable price. But for now, that's all you get. And you can send the money in cash to Neil Hamburger Fan Club, in care of Amarillo Records in San Francisco, California.
Well, Neil, count me in as the charter member. I will be sending the $5 at the conclusion of the program, and I hope that all our listeners will be too. Neil, how do you deal with women on the road? It seems that a celebrity of your ilk must, quite frankly, get more than he can handle. Why don't you cue us in?
Well, quite frankly, Ryan, it is more than I can handle, but I do my best to take care of them all. I love the ladies love Neil, and I've met a lot of really sweet women, some real soulmates out there. Sometimes things get a little impersonal, but hey, that's the nature of show business. It's been great.
Oh, it sounds absolutely great, Neil. This next question I'm only asking because my mom said she'd kill me if I didn't. What happens when you're on stage and you feel like you need to use the toilet?
Oh, that is a good question. Well, it depends on what city I'm in. If I'm in Hollywood or Fort Lauderdale, I tend to hold it in until after the show. If I'm in New York City, I let loose.
Oh, Neil, that's quite funny. However, for 10 million Americans who suffer from incontinence, it's no laughing matter. One thing people should consider who are adults with incontinence is that it's just a matter of degree. It's not inevitable, and it's not irreversible. Sometimes only minimal effort can reduce, even prevent the problem. You can adjust your incontinence to your life, not the other way around. Neil, why don't you tell our audience some ways that they can help themselves?
Ryan, I'd be glad to. The first thing you can do is to keep a bladder diary. For a week, write down what did I eat, what did I drink, when did I go to the bathroom, and how often did I leak. The diary will help you and your doctor track down the cause. Another thing to try is going easy on fluids. If you're downing gallons of water a day, it's a little bit much. If you drink a little less, your incontinence problem might ease up. A good time to ease up is before bedtime. Alcohol should be avoided, as should caffeine and grapefruit juice. Substitute cranberry juice. It's acidic, low in ash, and well known as beneficial to the bladder.
All right, Neil. Is it true that constipation can contribute to incontinence?
That's my life. Yeah, Ryan, that's true. Constipation can contribute to incontinence, so eat a high-fiber diet and be sure to drink adequate amounts of fluid. One clinic I've been to prescribed daily helpings of popcorn, so I'll see you at the movies.
That sounds great, Neil. I love to go to the motion picture. However, one problem is sitting still for a long period of time. It's a real sensible idea to empty your bladder on a regular basis. For example, don't, out of embarrassment, sit at the dinner table and hold it until dinner's over. Holding it too long may lead to a bladder infection and an overstretched bladder. Also, if you have a too full bladder and a weak sphincter muscle, you're likely to leak when all you really want to do is cough, sneeze, or laugh. Your best bet is to empty your bladder before and after meals, before and after the motion picture show, and at bedtime.
Ryan, perhaps this would be a good chance for me to tell our listeners about some special exercises that may relieve their incontinence.
Go right ahead, Neil.
All right. Without tensing the muscles of your legs, buttocks, or abdomen, imagine you're trying to hold back a bowel movement, if you will, by tightening the ring of muscles, known as the sphincter, around the anus. This exercise identifies the back part of your pelvic muscles. Next, when you're urinating, try to stop the flow, and then restart it. This identifies the front part of the pelvic muscles.
And if I could interrupt here for a moment, Neil, some advice to all you women. Imagine you're trying to grip a slipping tampon.
Great advice. You're now ready for the complete exercise. Working from back to front, tighten the muscles while counting to 4 slowly, then release them. If you do this for 2 minutes, at least 3 times a day, it means about 100 repetitions. Ryan, there's one thing I wanted to talk to our listeners about that's a little bit of a personal matter, personal to me.
Some advice from top comedian and talk show guest Neil Hamburger.
There are several brands of absorbent products available in the form of underpants or pads and shields. Now, these new products absorb 50 to 500 times their weight in water, or, for our purposes, piss. Anyway, they also neutralize odor and congeal fluid to prevent leakage. Now, the kind you need depends on your individual anatomy and the kind and degree of incontinence that you have. It's understandable to be embarrassed to buy them. But if you find an understanding pharmacist and ask to have your purchase waiting for you when you arrive, we can limit the laughs to those heard at my comedy performances at top clubs across the United States.
Oh, that's some great advice, Neil. When and where can our listeners catch your act?
Okay, December 16th through the 18th. I'm going to be at the Laugh Pit. That's in Mason City, Iowa, 2 shows nightly. And then we go on to Cedar Rapids, December 19th through the 20th at the Moldy Inn. December 21st through the 29th, 3 shows nightly at the Broken Comedian. That's in Iowa City. And then I fly out to Nevada to ring in the new year at the Lucky 7 Casino in Elko. I'll be playing there with Bill Haley's Comets and Rip Taylor.
Neil, that sounds absolutely fabulous.
Oh, it is. And after that, the sky's the limit for Neil Hamburger!
Well, it's certainly been great to have you on the show, Neil. Neil's new comedy record is available through your local record dealer. And until next time, this is Ryan Kerr, thanking you for tuning in. For more information about incontinence, you can write to the ICPI at Post Office Box 112567, Iowa City, Iowa 52241. That's P.O. Box 112567, Iowa City 52241.
The proceeding has been a paid advertisement from the Iowa Council for the Prevention of Incontinence. Views expressed do not necessarily reflect the viewpoint of KMNT Radio. KMNT Radio offers airtime at discounted rates on a regular basis for airing programs sponsored by nonprofit and community-oriented organizations.